Welcome to BFC Live, the daily video and podcast series of Business of Cannabis. BFC Live highlights the companies, brands, people, and trends driving the global cannabis sector. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com. Coming up on BFC Live, we connect with Tony Giorgi. He is the founder and CEO of Sensi Brands. They just opened a Farmgate retail store in Ontario. We wanted to connect with him about that, about the brands they have in the marketplace, about pre-rolls, about their medical program, about all things Sensi Brands. This is Tony Giorgi. Tony, thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to finally get a chance to talk to you.
Well, we were saying before we came on, it's like we've been communicating like teenagers through social media, maybe a little bit of email, but thanks for making time because you guys have been super busy. You opened a Farmgate store, Station House Cannabis. Talk a little bit about how that's going because that is like super cool.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about the Farmgate store. We had a grand opening last week. As you saw, we got a lot of press. But more importantly, the Farmgate store is a great opportunity for us to connect with the city of St. Thomas. We, our facilities are in St. Thomas where we produce everything. Really, from our perspective, it gives us two things. One, the opportunity to connect with the community in destigmatizing cannabis. As you know, it's still not completely wide open and accepted out there. And two, to demystify it for the consumer themselves. And so we thought Farmgate was a pretty cool opportunity. I'm sure you know about the background of our retail rollout and the intent of it. If you don't, happy to provide that context. But for our perspective, it does those two, as well as represents our market-leading brand, Station House, which we're very proud of, has become one of the top pre-roll brands in the country. And it was just the right model and certainly the right opportunity for us to accomplish those things.
I want to talk about the store first and then sort of zoom out to the sort of company overall. Talk a little about the store experience because like what do people see when they come to St. Thomas to come to the store?
Yeah, look, the store is a twofold. It's a tribute to our brand, as I've already called out. It's also a nod to the city of St. Thomas. What many people may not know is that St. Thomas is the railway city of Canada. And, in fine form, everything is themed around trains and train stations, as the Station House brand is. And so when you relate to the store, we did something pretty cool. We built the store out of a train container that was fully customized. It's very interactive. And so when you come into the store, it's pretty cool. You're walking into a container that's all professionally customized. And it's got a lot of displays, not only menu displays and that type of stuff, but also a live feed into our grow rooms so that people could see through video plants growing. And our phase 2 plan is that in behind the store, which is adjacent to building 2, as we call it, we're planning on building another grow room that we will then provide window access that is already in place so that you'll see live plants growing as you're shopping. And so it's a very cool theme. It looks very much like a Tim Hortons franchise of cannabis, the way it's laid out. And it's certainly something that we're very, very proud of, not only from the way it looks, but the interactive portion of it.
Yeah, like a grow room showroom.
Exactly.
We heard about this brand in Santa Cruz, California, doing something similar, and like envisioning it here at the time we talked about a year ago seemed far-fetched. And now I just love the idea. And I think this is sort of what you're talking about, bringing consumers in closer where the product is so they can make that direct connection, which and sort of further in St. Thomas, like making connection to the place itself.
Yeah, and really the way we've been describing it is kind of bringing the plant to the consumer, right? There, the Farmgate, which I think is really important to talk about, was a catalyst from that, was the fact that we were looking to accelerate the rollout of stores, right? It's January 2020. We're the largest consuming province in the country, consuming about 40% of the overall cannabis. And we've got 20 stores in play. And the AGCO really stepped up and said, hey, we're going to do two things. We're going to accelerate the rollout by adding more resources, and they increased from, something like 5 store approvals to 20 store approvals per week. And then they said, secondly, because the licensed producers have already gone through a very rigorous process and security clearances and all that good stuff, why don't we allow them the opportunity and introduced this Farmgate concept, which really dates back to the old farming days when you were growing corn on your property or whatever it was. You'd apply for a Farmgate license to sell your wares at the front of the property. And so what that does is we're the first store in southwestern Ontario that has done this. I think we have a very unique concept relative to other retail stores out there, not only the education side, but it allows us to also streamline the supply chain, because with Farmgate, of course, we get to essentially, produce products, but instead of going through the distribution process of sending them to the distribution center and back out to the store, we present them at within the store itself by shifting it from the virtual vault into our Farmgate vault. So there's a lot of advantages to the store. It's really cool. It's been open for a week now. The traction has been great. And it's also, lastly, Jay, which is really important, is that, we're a grower and we have the capability of growing up to about 500 kilos on a small scale, but we partner up with a lot of the local growers, whereby, we either do contract grows or we send our genetics and we allow them to grow. And so we're really representing, a lot of Ontario growers in terms of input and product into our brands that then get released into the store and get sold. So it's a really great model. It's a great store and concept, and we're pretty excited about it.
I love it. I love all, and just to sort of how you tracked sort of the history of retail in Ontario to now is compelling. Zoom out a little bit to talk sort of bigger picture Sensi, and talk about sort of the overall sort of components of the business. I think those are the compelling pieces as well, to sort of, for those that may not know.
No, that's great. I appreciate the opportunity. So we're somewhat unique. I'm not going to talk a lot about my team, even though, we believe we have one of the most experienced management teams in the country. If I talk a little bit about Steve Barrage, our Chief Revenue Officer, formerly of Tilray back in 2012, 2013, building up their medical business. He was then with me at Flower. As many people may not know, I'm the former CEO and visionary behind the Flower Corp. And so this is our second go at it. And so aside from the fact that we've got a very, very strong and experienced team, we're cannabis sommeliers by trade as well, and experienced consumers. We've got a unique business model with Sensi Brands. We didn't go out to try and be the largest cultivator or the largest processor and, grow the best, absolute coolest craft strains. That business, as far as we're concerned, is the winners have already emerged. You're not going to catch guys that got 3 million square feet of canopy. And so instead, we wanted to focus on the distribution channels. And so we're a brands company, and we essentially create really, really relevant and highly desired brands, both in the rec markets and in the medical markets. The only difference for us is the distribution paths. Obviously, our recreational brands are distributed through the provinces and into the retailers in all the provinces. Our rec brands are distributed through our medical platforms, in particular, Sensi Med, which is our medical marketplace that we launched in July. And so if I summarize for you, the model is such that we have lots of input that we curate and select. We then produce that and convert it into productized brands that have specific demographics that we target. If you look at Station House, which is the top pre-roll brand in the country right now, that is targeted as the everyday best value brand, and we'll get into that. And then, of course, aside from our brands business and wholesale distribution lines of business, we have our medical clinic, which is a subsidiary. We have over 10,000 patients. We focus on motor vehicle accident patients and veterans, and we're one of the first clinics to get what's called HCI designation. So their cannabis is covered through insurance. And the marketplace is the fourth line of business. And of course, we rounded it out with the Farmgate. So very unique model. We're a brands company. We're deliberate about the brands that we deploy and know exactly how we're deploying them. And I guess, that leaves us with Station House, which, is very unique in itself. If you look at the market and what's happened, Jay, the pre-roll category, we felt back in 2018 at legalization that was going to be the big winner. And our basic premise on that was that as an experienced consumer, the last thing you want to do after a long day of work, or you're going to a dinner party, or whatever the occasion is is sit at your table or in a hiding spot from your kids and grind up some weed with spills everywhere, find papers and then wear the filters and then you break it. And it's just old school, similar to, in the 80s, not being too uncommon to still see somebody roll a tobacco stick, which you don't see anymore. We felt that in the future, the pre-roll category will surpass dried flower in that approach. And so we then invented Station House, which is, we feel, the top pre-roll brand, and we did it dissecting every element. Typically at this point, if we go to 2019, the pre-roll category was used as a dumping ground from all the other LPs in getting rid of undesirable product, right? They were getting rid of their trim and shake and all that crap and mix it all in. And even to this day, they're using what they term as a blend and what we term as really bad product. And so we designed it and we wanted to make it relevant. There's still a lot of confusion in the marketplace on cannabis, and making things simple and for people to understand, like what is a sativa versus an indica, because they give you completely different experiences. We created and invented the first family of multi-pack pre-rolls. So we invented the multi-pack. We're very proud of it. It comes in 6, 12, 18, and 24 pack configurations in 7 different strains. But then we took it a step further, Jay. We kind of looked at it and said, look, we're not just going to take a bunch of pre-rolls and throw them into a pack. And I won't comment on the competition names, but they're packaging things in oversized packaging. They're packaging them in bags, and by the time the product gets to you, it's broken and loose. In our case, here are the differentiators. We only use single strain whole flower. We targeted a range of 18 to 22%, so you're getting a pretty potent product, like you're getting great bang for your buck. We have proprietary milling technology on actually how to mill and to what level, because that differentiates between a great burn and a not so great burn. We then use the best cones, but the biggest gap in the marketplace right now that differentiates is the proprietary automation technology, which right now is a gap in the market. Everybody knows it. A lot of the technology and R&D that's gone in today into automating pre-rolls has failed. And so we have proprietary processes and compartmentalized technology in the form of different assembly lines that has perfected an automated pre-roll so that we can scale. We produce about 1 million per month today and can easily go to 2 million. And so if you look at the whole market, it's about, it was a few $100 million market and growing. We can accommodate and support the market and scale easily. But then we've even gone further. We've added inserts to fasten the joints in place after they're perfectly rolled. We've added freshness packs because they are multi-packs made for a day trip or for a long haul, as we like to call it. We've included freshness packs. And then lastly, in a child-safe, easy to carry travel container that we use. And so you get all of that at an incredibly competitive price of $4 per pre-roll. And so you're going to be hard pressed to get any better value. And that was our target demographic. We wanted to be the Coors Light of the cannabis industry with the pre-roll. You're never going to go wrong with buying a Station House. And we think we've got something that's very unique relative to every other pre-roll in the market.
This has been great. I'm on my way to St. Thomas right now. No, I'm just kidding. But I do appreciate connecting in as close to real life as we are doing right now. Hear about Station House, hear about the Farmgate, hear about the business overall. And we look forward to connect with you down the road. I know that there's some announcements coming up, but we'll connect with you down the road about those because I think they're always exciting. And kudos in the store opening and all that's going on.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Jay. Really appreciate the opportunity, and hopefully you'll be a big supporter in Station House. Thanks so much.
I'm about to go buy a 24 pack, I think.
Hey, it'll serve you well.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Jay. Really appreciate it.
That was Tony Giorgi, the CEO of Sensi Brands. If you like this program, please rate and review us wherever you heard the show. It helps support the work we do. We're able to do what we do because of our ongoing partners, including Alterna Savings, Cannabis at Work, Cannabis Benchmarks, Can Delta, Gallagher, Headset, and Torque and Mains. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com.